Hello guys, Vinkles here, and at this point I think we all know the impact that these backyard theories had on Pokemon. Like in the 90s with Pokemon Red and Blue, which I wasn't alive yet, so I did not experience this. But it is well known that people had this rumor about, oh yeah, under that truck, they're just a Mew, out of nowhere. And I think a lot of us Pokemon fans didn't experience this, but the way that I personally experienced something similar to this was in Pokemon Pearl. I don't remember necessarily how many years I had, but I was like 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. And so basically, yes, I had internet, but I didn't really knew how to use it. So if for some reason I got stuck in some part of the place, which happened to me a lot because remember there was no Spanish subtitles and I didn't knew English at the time, so sometimes I just didn't know what the characters were saying and I got stuck. And I remember one time being all excited going to a cave, and then I just see this absolutely legendary looking Pokemon. It was none other than Heatran. My mind was absolutely blown. How did I not knew that this Pokemon even existed? For some reason I got the feeling that this Pokemon game was infinite. I could be exploring it maybe even for years, and I thought to myself, maybe I will find a Pokemon that nobody has ever actually found. And of course you grow, you learn to use the internet, and you stop having this feeling, you know that this game is limited. There is just so much content that is inside of the game, and if it's not inside of the game you will not find anything. It's obvious to us, but for the mind of a little kid, I mean that's not pretty obvious. And the other time that I felt something even remotely similar to this is with the Ghost Girl in Pokémon X and Y, precisely in Lumiose City. Now I don't remember the specifics, but I think you go into a building, then you take the elevator to, I don't know, some floor, let's just say the 4th floor, and suddenly you got this Ghost Girl, which is behind you. It doesn't really move, it's kind of like floating in space. What I mean is that her legs are not like moving, they're not doing the action of walking. She's just like this 3D asset that is gliding, I guess, through the floor. And after a weird and uncomfortable silence, then she finally says, "You're not the one." Now how dares she to say that we're not the one? Maybe indeed we're the one. How would she even know? And this sequence has been really iconic for Pokemon X and Y. I think it's just more evidence that we got a lot of things that did not get explored in X and Y. I absolutely think that we were supposed to get a Pokemon C, but we didn't get it. But now we're getting Pokémon Legends Z-A after, I don't know, more than 10 years. And this is what I want to speak with you guys. I want to throw around some ideas of how could this Ghost Girl mystery be finally solved. So as we all know, this mystery just got thrown away, like we didn't ever knew anything about it again. Maybe back in the day it was some sort of side quest that was supposed to happen in Pokemon C, but we didn't get to see that. And in order to solve it, I think we gotta analyze what this Ghost Girl says to us. She says, and I quote, "No, you're not the one." So what are the implications of this? The implications of this is basically that there is a one. Now she insists in that we are not the one, so the character we're playing in X and Y is not the one. So here we got two options that are kind of obvious, and it doesn't necessarily mean that any of these are correct. And the first obvious option is that the character that we're playing in Pokemon Legends Z-A is the one. And the second option would be that AC is the one. Now we gotta be careful with those two options because we are assuming that we're gonna get some Ghost Girl content in Pokemon Legends Z-A, which is not guaranteed. I think it's pretty logical that they would do it, but remember, it's not guaranteed. Like, we cannot get our expectations really high and be like, oh yes, we'll finally solve the mystery of the Ghost Girl in Pokemon X and Y in Pokemon Legends Z-A, but it's not necessarily the case. For all we know, Game Freak even just forgot about the topic. There you're like, okay, that was kind of like a joke, we just wanted to scare a few Pokemon trainers and that's about it, we didn't really have anything planned for it. It's entirely possible. Now, of course, I don't think it's going to happen this way. I think they're actually gonna do some sort of Ghost Girl continuation. And in this video we're gonna be proposing ways in which this could actually play out in the case that any of these two options that we gave, whether you are the one or AC is the one, could actually play out in Pokemon Legends Z-A. And here we go with the first way that it could happen. And imagine you're just in Lumiose City, which apparently is like a giant hub. Like, it's not like Pokemon Legends Arceus where you just got this crazy open wild zones. It's rather a much more condensed place. And so the idea is you would get a lot of missions that you gotta do. Like, I don't know, go and deliver this package to this place at the other side of the city. Or something like, there's some Pokemon causing trouble in the east. Go and manage that situation. So now imagine, at night people are getting super scared when they go into this place. There has been sightings of what people say is a ghost girl. Now it's your job to figure out what's going on and to also get rid of this problem for the Lumio citizens. So you gotta make something so that this ghost girl can finally rest or something. So I mean, this would be kind of hilarious, but imagine you just go into this building, then you go to the second floor of the elevator, and then suddenly this girl is like, oh yes, you are the one, and it starts like a Pokemon battle, and she has like some really cool ghost type Pokemon. Like, she has a Gengar, you know, she has this powerful Miss Magius. She just has the greatest Pokemon Ghost type team ever. And yeah, I think that kind of gets rid of the mystique of this ghost girl character. But I also think it's a really realistic way that they could actually make it play out. You know, the more and more that I think of it, like, it would be actually hilarious if they just don't address the ghost girl at all. Like, they just leave it like that, like this mysterious thing that happened in the X and Y era, and never do anything with it. Actually, I remember that there was an interview, I guess, with Junichi Masuda, which is one of the developers at Game Freak, that he got questioned about this incident of the X and Y ghost girl, and he was like, oh no, we never put anything like that. And so, you know, I think in a certain way they were like trying to actually make it a mysterious thing that not even the developers knew what it was. So if they address it, then it stops being that. It just becomes like, oh yeah, we did it on purpose. But what am I even saying? Like, I'm here to theorize what would happen if we actually see some content of the ghost girl. So yeah, we have this epic battle with the ghost girl, and when we beat her, she actually says something very simple. We were all here for years theorizing, oh, what could this even mean? And she's just like, you know what? I just wanted a really good Pokemon battle before I go to rest in the other life, so that's it. Now I can go and stop tormenting the citizens of Lumio City. Thank you so much. You know, the weird thing is that I actually imagine this actually happening in the Pokemon games. And if this happens, a lot of people will definitely be like, oh no, I preferred when they didn't do anything about the ghost girl. But I think it would be a nice resolution, and let's remember that usually Pokemon games are kids games, so getting a resolution in this manner wouldn't be absolutely out of the line. I think it's perfectly possible, and I think it remains the most likely of options. But we got the second option, which would be basically the one is AC. Not your character that you're playing as in Pokémon Legends Z-A, no. Not the character in X and Y, definitely, he's clearly not the one. But AC himself might be the one that this ghost girl is searching for. In which case, I think our main job would be to communicate that to AC, going to the hotel where he's working at right now, and being like, okay, there's this ghost girl, let's go and see what you do. But I think that would be a little bit boring maybe. I think the best case scenario is that we are the one, but it's also very possible that it's AC because she's a ghost. For all we know, she could be 1,000 or 2,000 years old. She could have known AC back in the day, so yeah. But in terms of making it fun to play, I think you could be like, oh AC, there's this ghost girl that is searching for you. And rather than just seeing what AC does, we could actually help him in some sort of way. Maybe when our character and AC are approaching the building, then it starts glowing or something, like something starts forming, and we got a lot of other ghost individuals that we get to fight in team with AC. This could be fun because it could help strengthen our relationship with AC, get us to know him a lot better, and it's something that we've seen in Pokemon before. Did you just get some random partner to accompany you in your adventure for a little bit and you do team battles? That would also be interesting because we could actually be able to see how AC battles. Like, you know, some Poketubers are going to make a video about that. You know, Tyranitar is gonna love watching AC fight. God bless Tyranitar, man, he's great. And another really simple idea that I got is you could get a new Pokemon that is inspired in the Ghost Girl. Whether you are the one or AC is the one, whoever is the one, it doesn't matter in this case. whenever that one person is with the ghost girl, then she could even transform into a ghost type Pokemon that we haven't seen before. It could have like a pretty interesting lore that it helps guiding lost souls in Lumio City, I don't know. But I think that would actually be a really pleasant resolve to this whole mystery, because yeah, we got the X and Y Ghost Girl, and if we got the first option where we are the one and we just fight the Ghost Girl, it's kind of like meh. But now listen, it was all this time a Pokemon that you could actually catch but we just didn't knew, and you get to have it in your own team. Well, that's kind of cool. So these were the 3 ideas, really simple ideas, like you don't have to be thinking for hours and developing rocket science to be able to get to these theories. But I don't know, I just thought it was worth discussing and speaking about, especially because I just think it's an exciting topic to speak about. I feel like the Ghost Girl in Pokémon X and Y is just this huge thing in the series. It has been the center of speculation for many years in the community. So I really do hope that we get something that is up to the expectations, because I think the expectations are really big. It's not a simple task to make this interesting for both kids and adults, but I am very confident that Game Freak will deliver. When they gotta deliver, they do. Like, okay guys, I know Game Freak gets a lot of hate sometimes, but let's be real, when they have to actually deliver, they do. They actually do. So let me know down in the comments what did you thought could be the most possible solution for the mystery of the ones that we offered here. If you got any other option that you think could be really likely or interesting, definitely let us know. I would actually love to discuss this with you. You guys know that I reply to literally all the comments. So yeah, I definitely want to see your ideas. My favorite part of these videos that I make is literally the comments section, because it's true, like the Pokemon community is very active. So any idea is welcome, even if you are like, I don't want them to do anything with the Ghost Girl. I think it's better kept a mystery. Any idea that you got, throw it down in the comments. I would love to see it. And with that, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.